Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Bailey, and last year I started my first ever cut flower garden. Originally I planted a lot of different seeds and I think a lot of them got eaten by birds, unfortunately. And I learned a lot because my flower bed was too close to our house. It did not get enough sun. I ended up having to change out the soil, move the whole bed. It was a whole ordeal, but I learned a lot, and this year I am learning from my mistakes, making different decisions, and I'm planting a lot more. So in case you haven't seen my previous videos, I and my husband made 3 more cedar garden beds. I have a whole video about how to make those if you're interested, because they're very cheap to make with cedar fence pickets. I think it's March 11th, and I am going to be starting my wildflower garden. So most of these are not cut flowers. I don't know if any of them are, honestly. And if you don't know what cut flowers are, basically cut flower means that you cut them and then they come again. So like from one seed, you'll have like a branch, and it will go in a bunch of different directions, and the more that you cut it off, the more it splits out and grows more flowers. So they are really good for vase life. Like, they have a very long vase life. So ultimately what I grew last year after I moved the bed was zinnias and cosmos, and then some marigolds. I never really cut the marigolds because they just have a terrible smell, honestly, which is why they're good for like repelling pests and stuff. But the zinnias and cosmos just last so well, and they have such a long vase life. So I will be doing that after the last frost, which here, I think I'm in garden zone 8A, is April 1st. So a little bit after April 1st, I will be planting those for the cut flowers, and I have a couple of garden beds of doing that in. But today we're doing our wildflowers, and most of these say to sow 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost date. Technically, I'm a little late, but I have done this thing called cold stratification, which basically is like putting them in the fridge to trick the seeds into thinking that they went through winter, because a lot of them you sow in the fall and then they sprout around this time of year. So we're going to be planting those today. I'm actually going to ride down the street, and there's this bit of land. So we live in South Carolina, and the hurricane hit here back in October. So there's a ton of like trees and stuff that are still down, extra sticks and stuff. So I'm gonna go gather some of that to use in my raised bed. We're gonna fill it up, so I'll show you guys how I fill it up. We got some soil last night. My husband went with me, and we got some topsoil and compost from Lowe's last night. So we're going to fill that up and plant our seeds, and I'm so excited to bring you guys along for this today. Okay, so I was able to gather trash bags of stuff. Also, it's such a beautiful day, so if you hear anything in the background, it's probably my neighbors playing. I hear some over there, but I am going to show you what I got. So they're not very big trash bags, but I got this much, just like literally branches and twigs and leaves and just any kind of stuff you can find. First, we're going to lay down cardboard. So I have some that my husband has broken down from just like boxes that we've gotten. I have a bunch, so I'm going to lay down the cardboard because this is going to serve as like a barrier so the grass doesn't just keep growing up whenever the grass starts to grow again. And so it's going to keep grass out, keep weeds out. So we're going to place that first, and then I'm going to pour all of the branches and leaves and stuff. And I also placed this raised bed about 3.5, 4 feet from that one, because I want to do a trellis in between, so I want to have plenty of room to be able to do that. So now that we have that done, by the way, I did water each layer just so it lays a little easily and will break down quicker. Now we're going to add in a 50-50 mix of topsoil and compost. These are just from Lowe's. Both of these I think were like, now I can't remember. I'll put the price here. But it was not very much, maybe like 20 something. And these are 5 of each, 5 bags of each. And my bed is 3 by 6. So I think this is what I got last year. I was just kind of guessing. I didn't do any math or anything. So hopefully it fills it. If not, I could always add some extra if I feel like they need it. But I think this will be good. Okay, so now that we have that done, it honestly filled that bed perfectly. Like 10 bags was great. I am going to sow some seeds. The very exciting, most exciting part of this. So if you didn't watch my previous video, I did cold stratification. I already talked about that earlier in this video, but I'm going to show you guys the exact ones that I cold stratified. We have these, I can't tell if it's focused, these Shirley Poppy Blend. I have 2 of these Fairy Meadow mixes and some more poppies. These are California orange poppies. I'm really hoping that the poppies grow because I just love the way that they look. This is a butterfly meadow mix, has a ton of different seeds. These are California poppies as well. These are from last year. And then some chamomile. I'm really just not expecting a lot from the chamomile because it just, I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I feel like they're not gonna do well. But we're gonna do one by one. I'm gonna read what it says. So like, for example, the chamomile says, light age germination, press seeds into soil surface. So we're just gonna like press them. That means that they need to have light to germinate. Some things don't, and you would like bury it underneath, but some of them do. So I'm gonna go ahead and read through all of these and see what needs light and what doesn't. And we'll go from there. Look how tiny these seeds are. I don't know if you can see. They are so small. I don't know how I'm even going to get them out of the bag. And I'm also gonna add some of this sluggo to the outside of the bed. Honestly, I'm gonna put some inside as well because this repels slugs. I had a slug problem last year and I'm not putting up with that, so we're gonna be proactive. So here's the finished product, and it looks pretty good. Basically what I did is the fairy meadow and the butterfly meadow both needed to be raked in a little bit, is what it said. Rake in slightly. So I just like kind of brushed them in. I don't even know what that tool is. Is that a rake that I was using? I don't even know. But I used that to just kind of mix them in to the soil, and then I watered it. And well, then I did the poppies and the chamomile. And those said they both needed light to germinate, so I just sprinkled them on top of the soil, watered it because it's a little windy and the seeds can blow because they're so light, especially the chamomile. They're like still stuck on my hands. They were so tiny. And so I just went ahead and did that, and then I patted it down with my hand once it was wet just to make sure that those stay in the soil. So now I think I'll just keep them watered maybe every morning, just make sure they're still moist until they sprout. So hopefully we'll have some germination soon. These seeds like the cold weather, and today the high is 74 here, tomorrow the high is 79, which is crazy. But after that it'll still be cold for a few weeks, honestly. It'll go back to like the 60s, and then the nighttime, even last night, even though it's gonna be warm today, the night was like 40 degrees. So hopefully it'll stay like that and they will like that weather. But I'm hoping that the cold stratification worked. I will keep you guys updated and let you know. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to stick around and follow for updates. I will also be posting updates on TikTok, so I'll link my TikTok below. But thank you all so much for watching. I'm so appreciative. Hope that you guys are having a beautiful start to your gardening season, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.